Welcome to the Scaringi Law Lunch Break. This is your time of the day to learn a little bit about the law while you enjoy your lunch. Today's episode is about the Scaringi Law election announcement we have. And now is the time for candidate petition challenges. If you're considering filing a challenge to a political candidate's nominating petitions, it's time to get ready. The whirlwind time frame for adjudicating petition challenges demands fast action. Nominating petitions have been circulating since January 28th of this year. The last day to circulate and file nomination petitions is today, February 18th, 2020. Petitions to challenge nomination petitions filed in court to challenge nomination petitions must be filed within 7 days after the last day for filing the nominating petitions. And candidates all over Pennsylvania are streaming into the Pennsylvania State Capitol to file their nominating petitions. These are petitions that they or others have circulated for them to get onto the ballot in the Pennsylvania general primary election. Opponents of those candidates may want to challenge those petitions to try to strike off a certain number of signatures in order to get the candidate below the threshold he needs to get on the ballot. Each office for which candidates run has a requisite number of signatures that they need to get from Pennsylvania electors. And if that candidate files a petition, and let's say he needs 250 signatures, and he submits petitions that have 251 signatures, well, maybe an opponent of his will challenge his petition and try to strike off 2 of those signatures for some sort of deficiency. And if that challenger is successful, then the number of signatures will drop below 250, and that candidate will not be allowed on the ballot in the spring primary election. So, the 7-day window will begin tomorrow, and that means that individuals who wish to challenge petitions have until Tuesday, February 25th of 2020. That's the deadline to file a challenge to a candidate's nominating petitions. Now, the Election Code requires that the office of the Prothonotary of the Commonwealth Court and the office of the Secretary of the Commonwealth and the various offices of Prothonotary of the Courts of Common Pleas shall be open between the hours of 8:30 a.m. and 5 p.m. on the last day to file objections to nominating petitions. Now, some candidates file their petitions at the county level, and other candidates file their petitions at the state level here at the Department of State in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. In order to determine whether there's anything to challenge, you'll first have to obtain copies of the candidates' nominating petitions from your state's or your county's election and voter registration office, depending upon the office in which the candidate whose petitions you intend to challenge has filed. Then you'll have to review the candidates' petitions for defects that appear on the actual petitions themselves. The persons who sign a nominating petition must be registered voters of the precinct or district which the candidate seeks to represent, and the party whose nomination the candidate seeks. A signer, which is also called an elector, may only sign a petition once, although he or she may sign as many petitions as there are petitions to be filed. For example, for delegates to the Republican National Convention or the Democratic National Convention, there can be up to 3 delegates for each congressional district. So in those cases, one individual, one elector, can sign 3 petitions. Forged signatures are invalid. So challengers will be looking for forgeries. Sometimes printed signatures, and certainly signatures that do not correspond to those found on voter registration cards in the what's called the SURE system, State Uniform Registry of Electors system. Those signatures can be challenged. Addresses that the electors write on the petitions must correspond to those shown on the voter registration card or in the SURE system. Note that the Department of State no longer requires nomination petition pages to be signed by a notary public. That was changed via a recent act of the Pennsylvania General Assembly. A petition challenge is made in the appropriate court, either the Pennsylvania Commonwealth Court or the Court of Common Pleas of the respective county. And these cases are heard on an expedited basis, so you better be ready to go if you're going to challenge or defend. Scaringi law attorneys have experience handling petition challenges in court and have obtained successful results for their clients defending and challenging petitions. If you're contemplating a challenge to a candidate's nomination petitions, or if you're a candidate and your own petitions have been challenged, call our office for a free consultation. You can speak with our election law attorney, Brian Caffrey. Number is 717-657-7770, or check out our website, scaringilaw.com. Well, that's about all the time we have today for the Scaringi Law lunch break. I hope you learned a little bit about the law. Thanks for listening and enjoy your lunch.